Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. It is 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on March 17th, 2022. Hope our Creator's keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms, and subscribe if you're new so we can bring awareness to those of what's going on with our sun, for it is our life source. Kind of important, you know. As we're looking over here at spaceweather.com, we're actually looking at later today. We're going to be getting a CME that's going to be impacting Earth, okay? Like a little bit of a glancing blow, but there's a little bit of mixed data that's coming in, so this is definitely going to be, no one's going to know exactly when this was coming. And this isn't what I showed you guys last night. That one's not going to get here until about the 20th. But when we look over here at NOAA, we're looking at the 18th. Right here, we're looking at our solar winds actually arriving around the 18th. So we've got the CME showing up at some point today, and then the solar winds coming from that coronal hole that's on the sun. So it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a double whammy, to be honest with you. But this one isn't showing the impact of the actual CME. It's just showing the winds, which I'm not. And this right here would be the radial velocity. This right here is the winds. So maybe just slightly. Maybe that's kind of the difference here. But I don't really trust Enlil a whole lot, unfortunately. They've been showing themselves to be unreliable at best. But when we come over here, the European Space Agency, and we're taking a look at Euphoria, we're not really seeing any difference. They haven't updated this, so it's showing also on the 18th, it's showing an arrival of some sort for our plasma. But then the winds kind of, you can see the winds, how the solar winds kind of pick up from here from that coronal hole roughly. So Enlil might be correct, but the timing on this is really, really unique. And again, this hasn't updated from the recent one that's going to be hitting us on the 20th. Otherwise, these numbers would be spiking up over here, you know, because it's the 21st here. So the 20th would be here. The numbers would be totally different. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting next couple of days, folks. We have no recent activity as far as asteroids or meteors that have been discovered that poses any kind of a major threat that we need to even be concerned about within the next few days. Closest one is going to be right here. It's 28 meters, so it's a decent size. And it's going to be 2.1 lunar distance, or 2.1 times the distance between us and the moon. So it'll be double the moon, basically, the distance. So we're going to be fine from those. Here we are back at Space Weather Prediction Center at NOAA, and we're going to take a look at our pressure provided to us by University of Michigan. Go Wolverines! And as we can see right now, we do not have much bow shock or bow pressure whatsoever. We've got a teeny bit on the back side of the Earth, which for some reason these days just seems to be normal. So again, this is our cut plains pressure, geomagnetosphere, so we're actually doing pretty good with this. Now, I want everybody to pay attention to how you feel right now. Pay attention to how you're feeling. You know, if you're feeling light and feeling pretty good, like it's a good day, it's a nice day, it's pleasant, pay attention to that. And then pay attention later. And pay attention to right around the time if you started to feel kind of like you weren't feeling too good, or maybe you started getting angry or upset or not feeling good, or maybe your ears started to ring, or maybe your back started hurting. Just start paying attention to the times, and then come back here tonight and pay attention to what time I show you, what time the pressure arrived. You might find that there's some similarities, and you'll find that you're cosmically sensitive. But I'm actually trying to rush through this because I'm trying to get to something else to show you guys here. So I'll keep an eye on it for you, and I'll report back later on this evening on solar weather. This is what I'm trying to get over to. Sulfur dioxide. We're going to learn about sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. We're going to learn about those today real quick because it's very significant. Sulfur dioxide, or spelled differently basically, is a chemical compound with the formula SO2. It is a toxic gas. Toxic gas as in deadly. Responsible for the smell of burnt matches. Okay, it is released naturally by volcanic activity and is produced as a byproduct of copper extraction and the burning of sulfur-bearing fossil fuels. Sulfur dioxide has a pungent smell like nitric acid. Excuse me. Now, as we get down to here, SO2 is bent molecule with C2V. Well, whatever all that. Okay, a valence bond theory approach considering just S and P orbitals would describe the bonding in terms of resonance between two resonance structures. Okay, we're talking about resonance and things getting together, right? The sulfur-oxygen bond as a bond order. There is support for this simple approach that does not invoke d orbital participation. Okay, sulfur dioxide is found on Earth and exists in very small concentrations and in the atmosphere at about 1 part per million. Okay? On other planets, sulfur dioxide can be found in various concentrations, the most significant being the atmosphere of Venus, where it is it's literally the third most abundant atmospheric gas at 150 parts per million. There, it reacts with water to form clouds of sulfuric acid rain, and is a key component of the planet's global atmospheric sulfur cycle and contributes to global warming. It has been implicated as a key agent in the warming of early Mars. Well, that's not cool. With estimates of concentrations in the lower atmosphere as high as 100 parts per million, though it only exists in trace amounts. Like here on Earth, it's only trace amounts. From what they're saying, only 1 part per million, right? On both Venus and Mars, and on Earth, its primary source is thought to be volcanic. The atmosphere of low and natural satellite Jupiter is 90% sulfuric dioxide. Ooh, that'd be terrible. And trace amounts are thought to also exist in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Okay, so we know this is some bad stuff, right? Well, what are some safe levels? What are safe levels considered? Okay, so we come over here and we check it out. EPA's, actually, excuse me, right up here, EHS, okay, considering those risks, OSHA has set a permissible exposure limit of 5 parts per million of SO2, okay, this is sulfur dioxide, averaged over an 8-hour work shift. Okay, so that's what's like allowable, okay? Okay, also 2 parts per million average over a 10-hour work shift period. 5 parts per million not to be exceeded during any 15-minute work period. So we know that that's bad, right? Look over here at windy.com. Why are we over here in South America looking at 152 meters squared? I mean, this parts per million, folks. They're getting hammered over here. Why? It's literally off the charts. Look, it's off the charts. Windy.com, you can come right over here. SO2. That's what we're looking at. Mexico's getting it. Let's come on over here. Oh yeah. Look at all this. Look at all this toxicity. What is going on here, folks? Iraq. Wonder what their numbers are. Oh, 136. Off the charts. Why are we being poisoned, folks? Let's look over here in Saudi Arabia near Jeddah. Well, they're even telling us it's 77.28. But it's not. 120 something. Goodness, folks. Look over here in Dunabad. Getting hammered. Let's bring this on down. They're even registered. They're even telling us it's 133. But I'm seeing 144, 153. What in the fragnog is going on? I mean, look over here in Africa. They're getting it down here, South Africa. Why are we being poisoned, folks? Where's all this poison coming from? But hey, I'll digress from this one for now. For our next one, we're going to look at carbon monoxide. Most of us know what carbon monoxide is, right? I would hope so. But just for real quick, it is a colorless, odorless, tasteless, flammable gas that is slightly less dense than air. Carbon monoxide consists of 1 carbon atom and 1 oxygen atom. It is the simplest molecule of oxocarbon family. Okay? So, most of us should know how this is all formed, right? Thermal combustion is the most common source of carbon monoxide. You know, like from your vehicle engines, it produces carbon monoxide. It comes out. It's part of the stuff that comes out, okay? It's also one of the toxic gases that comes out from making like meth labs and basically making drugs. It's in different fragrances, believe it or not, and fuels from the making of fuels. Yeah, it's not the greatest of stuff, right? Well, what are some safe levels of carbon monoxide? Let's take a look. Well, over here, carbon monoxide kills 10 mg or meters cubed, okay, max for 8 hours average, right? Okay, 9 parts per million. Okay, is the maximum for indoor safe carbon monoxide levels over 8 hours. 200 parts per million or greater will cause physical symptoms and is fatal at 800 parts per million, right? Okay, so we know that that's bad. Why do we have 1,733 right over here in New York? Even New York's right close to New York. New York City is registering 1,007. What in the heck is going on? Look at over here in Detroit, 728. I mean, what were the safe numbers? Let's look. Look at this, 800. Fatal at 800. Fatal. That's not within 8 hours. That's just fatal. 200 will cause physical harms. This isn't just over an 8-hour period. This is immediate. So why do we have those kind of numbers right here in New York? Or Pennsylvania, rather. Excuse me. Right around here. Oh, we're pretty close to D.C., actually. Oh, look at that. So why do we have these kinds of numbers? I don't know. You tell me. I'm confused. I'm going to get over here into Europe. Europe's looking okay. Now, right over here near Italy, right over here near Milan, well, it's just north of it, Senderio, whatever it is. That area seems to be getting hit pretty hard with a lot of other stuff. In fact, if I can get to it, we're going to cover some other stuff too. But look at down here in Africa. It's glowing red over here too. What's going on right here? Whoa, 2,692. Oh, 37. Oh, this just keeps getting better. 4,040. Oh my, 4,100. What the fragnog is going on? Folks, this is not good. We got two other, but South Sudan, Democratic Republic of the Congo, 600, 471. They're not doing good. I'm almost scared to come over here. Oh, sure. Here we go. Let's get over here. Myanmar, near Bangladesh, 2591. Goodness. What do we got up here? 2,000. Oh, come on. 2,900. Goodness. Like, what's going on, folks? Why is everybody getting poisoned? I don't understand this. Over here in Laos, 1172. Australia looks to be doing all right. You guys are lucky. But what's going on here, folks? And a lot of people are blaming this on the sands from Africa. Well, let's go take a look at those videos, shall we? These are the skies in Spain from a few days ago. From the red dust from the Sahara Desert, supposedly. Well, I don't know about y'all, but that looks, that doesn't just look like dirt. I mean, that's like a blood red orange. I mean, sulfuric acid rain? I wonder what's really going on. Here's another video capture in Spain. Look at this. This would scare the hell out of me. If I walked outside and I saw this, I'd be like, what the hell? This would scare the hell out of me. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, we're being poisoned, folks. They're literally poisoning us. Could there possibly be winds kicking up from the desert? Sure. But could they also be dropping stuff in with it to help poison us? Abso-frickin-lutely. Here's another one in Spain. I mean, what would you do if you walked outside and you saw this? Or if you even saw it coming in? I'd be staying indoors. I'd take my family and stay indoors. To top it off, this here is our nitrous dioxide levels. Oh yeah. Or nitrous oxide, excuse me. Nitrous oxide levels, look at this. Like, what in the heck's going on here? Then let's come over to PM 2.5, which ain't good either. That's actually really bad. Look at this, right over here near Laos, Myanmar, northern India. I mean, what is going on here? Folks, please come over to windy.com, have this in your windows so that you can look and see what's going on in your area. It's very important. When I show you guys, I give you guys full screen so you can see what tabs I've got open so you can see what's going on. And I leave it here so you can pause it and take a screenshot and you can come look at these things for yourself, for your area, to educate yourself and to educate your family so that you can make appropriate decisions for your family, for your own safety. Okay, so please do so. Please take advantage of that, okay? And remember, folks, keep your eyes open. No fear. And remember that love is the only way forward.